It's us again, and welcome to another video that we have here. Today we are going to be talking about 5 troubleshooting tips to lose weight when you are feeling stuck. Like you got your rain boots on and you're stomping through the manure and you get so stuck, you step straight out of your boot stuck. And then your sock hits the poo. That kind of stuck. How do we troubleshoot weight loss when we're stomping through poop? Basically, that's what this video is about.
So before we get into this, let's talk about why can it be frustrating when you've been working on your weight loss and then you're stuck? Yeah.
Because you're putting in a lot of work, getting outside of your comfort zone, going to the gym, sweating, doing things that are uncomfortable, saying no to things that like brownies where you don't necessarily want to say no to. And all of these things are hard. And when you feel like you're doing all of the right things and you're putting in all of the effort, or you're being told to lose weight in a way that isn't sustainable just for your lifestyle because you're either busy or you have a demanding job or something like that, then you just feel like this sucks. I'm putting in all this effort and I'm not getting anywhere. And not to mention that you might be doing all the right things that you think and you don't even know why. So now you're just confused because you're like, it seems like I'm doing all the things I need to be doing and I'm not losing weight and this sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I remember from my own journey, plateau has a really bad reputation because when people hit a plateau, it's a sign that things are no longer working, and one of the beautiful things about, creating body change is that it's validation for everything else in your life that things are moving in the right direction. So, that's why I think, and I'm speaking from my own life experience, why, it is really easy to get down on ourselves in many other aspects of our lives when we hit a plateau. And, that's why it's important to talk about it, because the last thing that we want for you is for you to, start to feel like you're slipping and falling in other areas of your life that are super important to you, like your health, like your relationships, like your career, that sort of thing. I mean, man, that can definitely be disastrous. So why don't we get right into it? So
Number one, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. So troubleshooting tip number 1. Are you continuously trying to do the same things you've already tried and have not succeeded at? Because you will go insane. It is a fact. So, number 1, to doing anything right if you failed the first time is do something different the next time. You have one of those friends, or maybe you were this person, I don't know. It seemed like it happened in high school, where it's like a boyfriend, girlfriend, it's like they break up and then they get back together, and then they break up and they get back together, and then they break up and they get back together. And it's like nothing changes though the next time they get back together. So what makes them think that they're not going to break up again? I experienced this one time much after college, like in my mid-20s, late 20s. And I got out of a relationship and I considered getting back in it. But I asked myself, what's going to be different? Because there's no way I'm going to enter the same scenario. It was already a shit show. So what's going to be different? So you have to ask yourself that. If I'm trying again, which you should, because there's always an answer, there's always a solution to your problem, and you're on the right channel. If you have problems with not looking the way you want to look, not feeling the way you want to feel, and wanting to change your body to get into this place where you feel really amazing and confident and proud of yourself, you're in the right place. If you fail and you try again, that again, there has to be something different about it. Has to be something different about it.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're going to get the wrong result. And also, you know, one of the things that we always say is that it's not about the weight that you lose, but who you become in the process. So, you know, like if, let's say you did this thing that got you to weighing 180 pounds, and then you get to 180 pounds and you're like, I'm stuck. What you did to get to 180 is not the same thing that is going to be required of you in order to get to 170. And I think the reason I share this is because, you know, like I think about, you know, like just some people that we've worked with. The success rate in our programs is extremely high. However, you can't change a person who doesn't want to change. So I want to talk to you like, you know, I would talk to what I would call the difficult clients who do not want to see what I try to make them see. And of course, if you're not seeing it, it's not because it's your fault, because society has trained you to think a certain way since you were, you know, like if you're like Erin and myself, since you're probably like 13 or 14 years old, you've been wanting to do this and, you know, it's like something worked and then it didn't. It didn't work because you needed to do something different in order to take yourself to the next level. And failing to realize that is only going to, you know, just drain your energy and take more time. So like we've achieved a lot with regards to our own body and we help thousands of people achieve a lot too. So like, why wouldn't you take our word for it? Because we do have your best interest in mind.
With that being said, there's actually a link in the description of this video with a 5-day challenge that we have coming up. So if you check out down there and you click the link, it's a transformation kickstart challenge, and it's going to help you kickstart this transformation in a very different way than you probably ever have in your entire life or on this entire journey, no matter how many times you've started over, no matter how many diets, pills, nutrition programs, or whatever have failed you. So find the link in the description after this video and register yourself for that. It's free.
Yeah. So definitely do that. You want to do that, okay? Give yourself that opportunity. So now, here's the thing. If you feel like you've been stuck, then you have to give up something. And most of the time, it's a thought. Thoughts are habits too. There's such a thing as thought habits. So if your thought habit is, you know, like I got to do cardio and be on the elliptical for an hour in order to lose weight, just because that got you to 180 doesn't mean that that's going to get you to 170. And if you're like, okay, I get what you're saying, so what do I do next? Click on the link in the description. Like, don't try to figure out something that you've been stuck on by yourself. You're going to, like I said, you're going to end up wasting your time and your energy and literally like spinning in circles, not going to the right place. Let us do the heavy lifting for you. It's completely free. You got nothing to lose. Okay.
Number 2, why are you doing this in the first place? Why? Like in all caps. Why? Why are you doing this? And I don't just mean like, oh yeah, why do you want to lose weight? Because I want to be healthy. But like, why do you want to be healthy? Oh, because I want to, feel better. Okay, well, why do you want to feel better? Because I want to, have more energy and not be so tired. Okay, but why do you want to have more energy and not be so tired? Stop beating around the bush and tell me the real damn reason. Why do you want to lose weight? You want to lose weight because you want to feel attractive to a partner? Do you want to lose weight because you feel like you're going to be alone forever? And if you don't, and you don't feel attractive to yourself, you're not going to feel attracted to somebody else, and then you're never going to find love, and you're going to be alone for your whole life? Like, what's the reason? Somebody dump you because they said you were a certain way, and you're like, oh, I don't want to be that way anymore? Like, something in here. Like, what? Like, how deep do we go with this?
Deep. And if you're getting deeper and you're like, man, like it doesn't feel good, I think I'm gonna cry.
You hit it.
Good.
You hit it.
Good.
Hit it.
It's gotta move you. If it doesn't move you, like nobody just, loses weight to look better in a bathing suit. There's a bigger reason, like, why do you want to look better in a bathing suit? Why is that important to you? Like, confront the problem. And until you're able to confront the real problem, like we talked about before, you're gonna have to give up something, probably a couple of things. And the more things you're willing to give up, and I'm not saying just go toss out the soda that's in your fridge or go toss out the like candy that's in your cupboard. I mean, like, more than that, like on a deeper level, like things that you probably like haven't even thought of yet.
So look, you hit the real reason why when you almost like want to cry about it.
Yeah.
Because I will tell you, for me, I felt like I was trapped. I felt like I have this very big life of the party personality. I love to be funny. I love to be seen. I won't even lie about it. But I didn't feel like I wanted to be seen because I was embarrassed, because I thought, oh, because I, feel fat and sloppy and gross and I'm overweight and I have to try to like hide my fat, wear bigger clothes and all this stuff. Like, I don't want to be seen, but I want to be seen. And it was like, I felt like I was in jail and I had no freedom to be myself. And so I just literally felt depressed because I didn't know. And that caused me to not know what I wanted to do with my life, not feel like I had any idea what even my purpose or what I could even do to feel good again. And so I thought, if I lose weight, I will not feel so trapped. I feel like I will have the freedom more to be myself. Now, some of these things are not necessarily about the weight, but about the fact that you overcame something that was difficult for you, about the fact that you stuck to your word multiple times over and over and over, and you learned to trust yourself, and you learned to set boundaries, and you learned to manage your time, and you learned to do all these other things. That is what gives you the confidence. That is what makes you feel amazing. So think really deeply about, why do I actually want to do this? And keep asking yourself, why that, until it hurts.
And you know what? Like, as you were saying this, I was thinking about, we are, like, Erin and I are very connected with our why. And that is why it is very easy for us to make the right decisions and do the right things.
But it wasn't always.
No, it wasn't always that. But I mean, of course, it's been like years of training. And I mean, beyond like working out.
Physical.
Yeah. I mean, mentally, emotionally, that whole thing. So, like, I was thinking about my own journey and I'm like, I have multiple whys. So like, the reason I share this with you is because you might find that you may have multiple whys as well. Some common whys that, we hear from people who we've had the pleasure of helping. Moms literally like 90% of the time say one of two things, if not two. Number one, like, I want to be able to see my kids live longer. And I know that I have some sort of condition in my family and I don't want to, die at an early age and, not have them experience me with them because they're my world. The other thing that we hear is, so many of our clients said, I've seen my mom try to lose weight her entire life and I know what that did to me. Mm-hmm. And in fact, that was the thing that started it for me. And I would, when I was 15, 16, junior high, I would do like Weight Watchers with her. So like you grow up like learning that there is something wrong with you, even though nothing is wrong with you, and that you should, restrict yourself or limit yourself or be on a diet because that's the social construct. And you're like, knowing what I know now, I want to make sure that by the time my daughter turns 12 years old, like, I don't want her to have to go through that whole thing because, there is so much more beneath the surface when it comes to weight loss, especially with women. I mean, I'm not a dude, so I can't speak for dudes, but I'm sure that affected them too. Like, everything that we want to achieve or everything that we haven't achieved has to do with our self-image. So if you have this ideology about, living a certain life will mean that you have to look a certain way, then And if that's what you see your parents do, then guess what? It's just like you've been taught, okay, like go to school, get a good job, like that becomes the norm and that's all you know. And then you're like, like by the time like you're in your 30s, you're like, I just realized that, you know, like there was nothing wrong with me, but because I told myself that something was wrong with me because that's what I was taught from my environment, like it becomes a habit.
They want to set a good example for their kids.
Yes.
I don't want my daughters to struggle with the same thing that I did because I know what happened to me when I watched my mom. I don't want the cycle to continue. And for other people, it's like I can't be intimate with my partner because I don't feel comfortable, to be honest, like being naked or having the lights on during sex or like,
having sex at all.
Or being in any weird, like sexual positions. I feel like I've got to be laid fully out, flat, stretched out, So, it's got to be something that's like vulnerable and deep because what happens is if it's not, the weight of your excuses will always be heavier than the reason why you want to do it.
Oh, that's powerful.
So you need to have a heavy why because anytime an excuse comes waltzing through the door and asking you to do the two-step with it, you can be like, off. I'm doing this because of this. And it means more. So you're like, I don't care. I don't need the brownie right now. I don't need that extra drink right now. I don't need whatever. I don't need to grab a handful of peanut M&Ms in the bowl in the break room when I walk past it. Because you're why. You know why.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, stop weighing yourself so often. There's way too many fluctuations. On a daily basis, we can fluctuate up or down between like 2 and 5 pounds, I would say. You can be up, you can be down, but look.
Especially around that time of the month.
So look, there might be reasons why certain people weigh themselves every day, but if you're weighing yourself every day to track your progress, to see if you're losing body fat, it is an inaccurate measurement done too often. If done too often. Because on any given day, you can go up or down. You're like, oh my God, I gained 3 pounds. No, you didn't. Your body just has 3 pounds more of some kind of mass on it. It could be something you drank. Maybe you haven't pooped yet. Guess what? If you weigh yourself and then you drop a 1 pound load and then you immediately weigh yourself again, guess what? You just lost a pound. But was it fat? No. So you have to understand, mass is mass. You weigh what you weigh. But if I weigh myself and then I drink 24 ounces of water, I now weigh 24 ounces more until I pee it out. So it goes up and down all the time. So you have to know, even once a week, sometimes even once a month, like if you're doing the right things for yourself, who cares what you weigh? You know you're gonna make progress. Start checking how your clothes feel. What are some other ways that they can track progress besides just looking at the scale all the time? Break that shit. If you're like trapped in the scale, just break it.
Yeah, if you're seeking validation from the scale, then good or bad, like you just don't need it for a while because all you're gonna try to do is you're gonna try to seek validation. And like when things are going well, your ego might get too big and you might start getting laxy-daisy. Mm-hmm. And when things are not going well, you're going to punish yourself and get into this crazy cycles. And I'm saying this from, having experienced it myself.
Sabotage.
And the only way to break a pattern is to break it. So you can either grab a sledgehammer and break your scale or you can put it away.
Have somebody else, if you feel like I don't want to break it, I might need it later. Have somebody else in your house hide it from you and not tell you where it is.
Look, real body changes. Like Erin said, your weight fluctuates on an hourly basis, but real body changes takes anywhere from a couple of weeks to a couple of months. And that all depends on where you're currently at, with regards to your metabolism, with regards to your habits. Have you been going in a backward trajectory? Are you just stalled or?
The current weight you're starting at, if you're starting at 300 pounds, you're going to lose weight faster doing the same things than somebody else who weighs 200 pounds.
Yeah, or lower.
So it's all.
And by the way, I just thought about someone when like you said that. I want you to know that the smaller you are, the longer it's going to take to see the changes. And you just have to be okay with it. And you do have to be more strict. That's the truth.
But again, why are you doing it in the first place?
Yes.
If you're trying to get to the grocery store and you hit a red, you're like, I want all the lights to be green, and you hit a red traffic light, you're not like, oh, well, I guess I'll go back home then. No, you're like, well, shit, okay. And then you wait for it to turn green, and then you keep going, right? It's the same thing. Just keep going, keep going, keep going. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming. Just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. What do? We swim. I love to swim. All right, check this out. Number 4.
Callie,
What's number 4?
do you want to tell us what's number 4? Read this right here.
Yeah, number 4. Number 4 says
Make Callie like
that's a big word, huh?
Make Callie like modification.
Gradual.
Yeah.
Make gradual modifications, not dramatic modifications. I know you're distracted. She's really cute.
Make gradual modifications. The reason why you want to do that is because you're building up tolerance. If you want to make things pick up faster over time, then it's got to be gradual. It's got to be incremental. If it's monumental, the crash is going to be monumental too.
It's only truly monumental in consistent incremental steps.
Yeah.
So, instead of saying, okay, I'm not going to have any more sugar, I'm going to do dry January and I'm not going to drink anything. Instead of doing that, like, you're literally setting yourself up to fail. Another car analogy, if you're going to that same grocery store, your car does not go 0 on the speedometer and then say 50 on the speedometer. It has to go to 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. It literally has to hit every number along the way. It doesn't skip a beat. It's got to work up. Nothing is different about you.
If you go from working out 0 times a week to 5 times a week, the likelihood of you being consistent past week 4 is very slim to none. And I don't care how motivated you are.
It's a tolerance.
It's a tolerance, right? And the same thing goes for alcohol. The same thing goes for sugar. It's easy to say you need to cut out sugar. Yes, okay, I know that. Duh. But why do I keep going back to it the same way over and over again? That's because you're going from, let me eat copious amounts, to cutting it out. No, there's a gradual modification. And this is why people in our programs are like, we got this term that's called a harmonization. Based on where you're currently at and based on where you want to go, we fit that into your lifestyle so that you can build up the tolerance instead of depriving yourself. Aside from the fact that when you deprive yourself, what's the first thing that you want to do if you haven't built tolerance? That very same thing. If somebody tells you, starting tomorrow, don't eat sugar, you're like, why is it 10 a.m. and I'm already craving this muffin?
Because you're used to having it.
Because no matter what, when you're being told do this or don't do that, what your brain focuses on is the action anyways. So your brain is like, eat muffin.
That's like an extra thing. That's not even what we're talking about. That's like an extra thing though. Like, if you're focusing on something, you want it. You're obsessing on it. But what we were talking about, it's a good rabbit hole to go down, because it's true. But what we're talking about is like, remember the first time you had alcohol? Maybe you haven't ever in your life. Okay, so this won't apply to you.
Good for you if you don't.
But I mean, it doesn't really, it's not that alcohol's bad. I like to have a drink. But imagine the first time you had it, okay? This is the story. So imagine yourself in this picture regardless. You drink, one drink, you're like, woo! And then the next time you drink and a half, and then 2 drinks, and then before you know it, you're like, oh yeah, I can have 3 beers and it doesn't even faze me. You've built what? Tolerance. You didn't go from having 1 shot of Jameson to having 6 shots of Jameson and feeling the same way. There's a tolerance that's built up.
And the same thing goes for your muscles. The same thing goes for your cells. The same thing goes for your brain.
Weights. You don't just pick up.
I said muscles.
Yeah, you don't just pick up a 60-pound barbell and start curling it like Sarit did when she came out the womb. Not everybody's a freak in nature, okay? You have to go 10 pound. I remember when I was curling a 20-pound barbell and somebody was making fun of me. She's like, whoa, nice guns. She was a friend, so we were just like talking shit to each other. And she's like, whoa, nice guns. And I'm like, shut up. Like, I'm just getting started. I could barely 20 pounds. And then, you know, now it's like, what were we doing with Sam Bakhtiar that one day? Rest in peace, brother. But it was like a 60-pound barbell.
Tricep,
like
all the tricep things.
Anyways, tolerance. You got to work your way up to it. So don't make dramatic changes. Think better than, what's the next thing I can do? What's just a little bit better than what I had done before? And let me just do that. And you can feel good about it. And over time, you will see big changes. Number 5. Be patient. Be patient, be patient, be patient. Why are you doing it? Don't think about how fast I can get somewhere. Think about,
how can I get there? For sure.
Okay, that's not what I was thinking about, but
It's the truth.
don't think about how fast you can get somewhere. Think about how far you can go. What are you capable of? What can you prove to yourself? But if you just keep thinking in terms of how fast can I get somewhere, how fast can I do it, you're probably not going to get very far before you crash. Because you haven't been driving long enough to drive that fast.
Look, your body wants to fall into place, okay? Like, we're all born with the same musculature. For some, it's more developed. For some, it's less developed. So the reason I share this with you is because, you know, whether you want to look like us or not even close to that, that doesn't matter. We are all capable of developing the same thing. We just have to, you know, put ourselves in the right environment mentally, physically, emotionally, socially, so that over time it will be expressed. And if it's not expressed tomorrow or next week or next month, doesn't mean that it's not working. Also, we do have to understand that we all have different complexities in our lives. And if you ignore it, then it's only gonna make the thing persist longer. Okay?
What do you mean when you say expressed?
Like, you know, when somebody tells me I want abs like Sarit, okay, like we all have abdominals. Like, mine are just expressed so you're able to see them.
Okay, so an outward physical expression of the actions you've taken.
Yes.
English is Sarit's second language, so she knows what she's saying in her mind.
And you know what I say in my mind.
And I can read her mind. Yeah. So those are the 5 things to troubleshoot weight loss when you're feeling stuck. Number 1, don't try the same thing over and over and over again. Don't go insane. 2, deeply ask yourself and figure out the true, deep, painful reason why you even want to do it. 3, stop weighing yourself so often. 4, make gradual, not dramatic. Dramatic. I thought that was a real word. Dramatic changes, and be patient. And that's today's video. Again, if you like this video, then we need you to tell us in the comments what you liked about it so that we can continue making videos that are actually helpful for you. We don't do these for ourselves because we know this information. We do this for you. So please, for yourself and for other people who watch this channel and these videos, put in the comments what you took away from this video and what you learned and what was eye-opening to you or inspiring about you, inspiring to you, and let us know so that we can continue to help. Also, in the description, you're gonna find a link to our 5-day transformation kickstart challenge. If you do not sign up for that, you will be shooting yourself in the foot, straight out of your boot, again, walking in the poo. 5 days to kickstart your transformation, where we're actually going to be going live. It's a live challenge. There's been over 20,000 people who have enrolled in this challenge, And it is one of the most fun ones for us to do and the most inspiring and transformative challenges that we put on. So do yourself a favor, do this the right way. If you've been struggling with any of these things that we talked about, then click the link in the description right now and register yourself. All we need is your name and your email so we can send you the information and communicate with you so that you know where to join us live when we go live and give you all of that good stuff, along with the resources that we're going to give you as well. So we'll see you next time. If this video made you think of somebody else, share it, spread the word, and be the change that you want to see. We'll see you next time.